You are live with Dr. Chapa. Good morning, good day, whatever time you're tuned in. You are on the Dr. Chapa Wellness Show. This is where you're going to learn how to take care of you. Hey, listen, this is your earth suit. You better take care of it. This is your body. It's your one chance to get tuned in, dialed in to how to take the best care of yourself as you can each and every week. Why? It's Monday. You might as well start today. They always say, when's the best time to plant an oak tree? I say, well, 20 years ago. But when's the next best time? Because 20 years ago, if you didn't do it, well, you didn't do it. So the next best time to plant an oak tree, and in this case, an oak tree of good health, practicing the way, the Dr. Chapa style way, is today. Now, it is your time. And so we are excited to bring to you another episode of the Dr. Chapa Wellness Show where we teach people how to live better, be better, and stay better one bite at a time. How exciting is that? And I do get excited about it because it is your life, your health, your choice. And when people choose to follow the way, the plan that we lay out for them, they see inflammation go down, they see their symptomatology go away, they see diagnoses melt, they see drugs drop off the map, and they say, wow, I didn't know I could feel this good. I didn't know I could feel 10 years younger, 12 years younger. I didn't think I could think clear and feel better along this journey. I thought I was just kind of destined to get old and to be the average statistical person on 5 to 7 medications in your 40s. That's the stat. That's the truth. Go look it up. Many people today are being told that they're going to be on blood pressure medications, stomach acid medications, steroids, now the infamous, peptide injections. We are selling America on injecting things into your body being a good idea. Anytime, and I've said this for 20 plus years, that you bypass your God-given natural buffering systems through a shot of any kind, you're asking for trouble. I'm not saying peptides don't work, but I'm telling you, you are not fully embracing the power of what a peptide can do if you're only relying on an injectable. Sorry, doesn't work that way. You've got to do the whole program. Somebody came and says, do I look leaner? I said, well, yeah, you do look leaner. But do you know, because they had been starting an exercise program, it isn't just about the exercise. Exercise contributes 20%. 80% of your body presentation is developed in the kitchen. That's right. So what you eat's important, but what you don't eat is more important. And every week I'm teaching you different skill sets, different tools, resources, ideas that you can apply right now, today. Today's the day, the great Mel Fisher said. Great story, by the way. If you never looked up Mel Fisher and the great story of the Atosha, I love this story. Why? Because you, me, we all get to choose how we perform today. Today's the day. And he would always start and end his meetings with, today's the day. Because they were looking for the greatest treasure of all time, the Atosha. And this ship had crashed, shipwrecked, outside of the coast of Florida. And they thought it was lost to the depths of the sea. And over the many years that Mel Fisher and his family, and the tragedy they went through, the persecution, the mockery that they went through to develop skills and tools and resources that we still use navigationally today and or grid mapping the grounds of the sea today were given to the credit of Mel Fisher on his quest to find the Atosha, the largest treasure ever discovered, ever, and is still today. They're finding treasure from this wreckage. Why? Because today's the day. He stayed in the game. He knew perspective is everything. He knew, based on what he was finding and what he was seeing and the trends and the patterns that he was working from and working toward, he had a vision, and he knew in his heart of hearts that God had put a mission in his wake or in his foresight to go forward and for us to relish in the wake of his brilliance and how we measure out impact. What might I miss if we don't keep pursuing greatness? It's your life, your health, your choice. You can do it. The Bible says you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Today's the day. Choose well today know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can go forward today feeling better if you just start applying these principles and practices. I'm watching patients go through different types of programs that I've built over the years. How to clean out their nervous system, how to clean out their lymph system, how to detox their liver, how to get their bowels more effectively, more in a proper working order. And what happens is when you affect one system in your body positively, everything gives you a net positive return. That's awesome sauce. And that's what I want every patient to grab hold of and to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that they don't have to live sick, ill, and broken down. So how about that for a topic going into what stops a lot of people? Most people don't get out of life what they want to get out of life because they just don't feel well. They either have belly pain, headaches. They either have high cholesterol and blood pressure issues, ringing in the ears. They have issues with all kinds of symptoms. One of the number one symptoms people are struggling with today is arthritis, or what I like to call arthrongus, because there's nothing rightus about it. Isn't that good? You got to grasp that. Anything your body can develop, it can undevelop. Did you know that your body stores toxins in the joints, the fat cells, and in your brain? So let's not let fat cells, joints, and brain cells be contaminated with toxins. We've got to get these things out of there. So you have to participate in detoxification. We have a total body reset program that will reset most every tissue, cell, organ, gland in your body effectively well inside of 21 days. If you wait to the end of this video, I'm going to give you some tips on how to get into that class, and you can learn. We do live classes, we do online classes, so it doesn't matter where you're at. Technology has allowed us to come into your home and pipe information that is positive, reinforcing, that is tried and true and tested, that will give you results. 3 weeks worth of work, 3 months worth of benefit, boom shakalaka. Do it 2 to 3 times a year. You're going to love how you feel, how your body performs. And you'll be emailing us saying, how can I keep going? How can I do the next step? How can I keep cleansing my body and making it better, and more better? Listen, no one gets out of here alive. But I do believe God told us we can put the vim, vigor, and vip back into people's step. And I hope and pray that you'll stay tuned to the very end where we will dive in. So let's, without further ado, dive into this conversation tonight around arthrongus, because there's nothing rightus about it. And if you've got joint pain, inflammation in your joints, if your elbows hurt, if your knees hurt, if your wrists hurt, fingers hurt, feet hurt, ankles hurt, toes hurt, you have potential wear and tear issues that can be reversed. 50 million adults are struggling and suffering with arthritis, or what I like to call arthrongus, because again, there's nothing rightus about it. While joint pain is common, understanding what's happening inside your joints is the first step towards supporting long-term health and mobility and keeping your joint capsules healthy, strong all the days of your life is what we're all about. So make sure you share this with a friend who's suffering with this type of issue. This person, poor thing, probably has back pain, neck pain, hip pain, and knee pain. And so it's a term describing inflammation in the joints, arthritis. This is not a single disease. Pain, stiffness, swelling, reduced range of motion, that is constant and chronic. There are more than 100 different types of arthritis in your body. I think that's fascinating. That's extreme autoimmune level. That is less, if you will, aches and pains because you went out and partied last night and ate things you shouldn't eat and got into some sugar and it fed some sugar bugs, and those sugar bugs, frankly, released some toxins. They pooped in your body and your body couldn't get rid of it, and it got stored in your joints. Hopefully it'll drain off. When you have pain in your body, guys, that's moving, right knee one day, left knee another, that's classic liver, number one, but it's moving left to right, the movement of pain throughout the body, up, down the spine, up, down the extremities, your shoulders down to your toes, or your hands, and then your hip down to your toes. If it's moving pain, it's lymphatic pain. So we would build a lymphatic wash program to come in and begin flushing your lymphatics. But what if it was a chronic long-term issue where you have the dreaded, red finger, the I can't move my thumb, the gouty arthritis in your big toe, the red hot joint that is always hot, inflamed, and swollen. This is pain, stiffness, and swelling that has to be cleaned out. Your body will store toxins like guanidine, not bat guano, guanidine, that the liver should be able to process out, but it can't be processed out, so it gets stored in the joint capsule. So now you're like walking around on a rock. Who likes that? Nobody. So when you keep walking with a compensation in your sway, in your gait, you begin to develop arthritides that shouldn't be there because your body is compensating. It's adapting. So remember, if you have joint pain, inflammation in your body, stiffness, swelling, you can't get that full range of motion. It isn't because you're getting older. It isn't because your shots have worn off. It isn't because the steroid is not working anymore. It's because your body's so toxic it can't get rid of the waste, and it's like you become a joint hoarder. You're hoarding toxins in the joint. And remember, a toxin is just anything your body can't use. Somebody asked me the other day, where could I be getting xenoestrogens, fake estrogen? Where could I be getting chemicals and metals? Man, if you got any issue with your teeth, you've got metals and chemicals. If you have lotions and potions that you put on your body in the last week, dyes on your hair, tattoos on your body, metal even in your ears, belly button, or other places, you have toxins in your body. Your body's being exposed right now. If you're inside your house, there's more toxins in our homes than there is outside of our homes, especially with these energy efficient homes for which the homes can't breathe. That's right. Your homes are supposed to breathe. And I know many of you probably don't change your air filters regularly, so it even compounds the problem all the more. If you've got plug-ins in your outlets, good smelly things all throughout your house, you want it smelling good, and I want it smelling good, and I appreciate a good smelly house. But the toxins that your body has to process are nonetheless still there all the more. That's why some people are so sensitive to smells, they will not just get joint pain, they'll get headaches. Or what if you're somebody that every time you eat acidic food, tomatoes, tomato sauces, or nightshades like bell peppers, or even cruciferous sulfur-based foods, you can't get away with it because it gives you a headache or it irritates or aggravates your joints. Hey, you're the guy that every time you drink alcohol, wine, you get all this red butterfly rash. That's rosacea. That's an indication of your body being at threshold for toxicity. So there's two types of common arthritides called osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. Osteoarthritis often develops as joint cartilages aren't developed over time. They wear out. This is a wear out issue. Rheumatoid arthritis is where the body begins to store toxins in the joint and the joints begin to essentially wear down due to workarounds. The body starts to clean up the mess and oops, it ate a little more than it could chew and it starts attacking itself. Both are very, very workable disorders. Both can be reversed. Anything your body can develop, it can undevelop. I had a lady one time with rheumatoid arthritis so bad she genuinely could not bend this first knuckle on her thumb. And it was so swollen. This bottom knuckle was so foundationally swollen that it was red, puffy, and quadruple the size of a normal, like her opposite thumb. And that's one of the ways you can tell rheumatoid is because it is extraordinarily joint specific, typically far away from the body, the core of your body core, like in your thumbs or your big toes, because it's so toxic and it's so acidic, your body cannot have it in the blood and it cannot have it near the heart or other vital organs. So it says, man, I don't know what to do with this. I'm going to stick it as far away from this body as possible, and thumbs are a good place apparently, big toes are a good place apparently, and this is what people are developing, and they are being told that you need to take steroids for it, you avoid all these, different types of purine foods, and you got to get on an arthritic type diet in order to reverse it, which I don't think is a bad idea to be aware of certain types of foods that are higher in inflammatory joint inflammation than others. But again, it just comes down to if you're eating food that is highly inflammatory, and the day that vegetables start to attack your body. Listen, I read The Plant Paradox. I read that book and I was like, this has got 2 volumes of material on how plants are trying to kill you. Wow. Why are we eating plants? Andrew Chaffee, neuroscientist, neurosurgeon, says that plants are trying to kill you. All the carnivore gurus, plants are trying to kill you. The phytonutrients, phytochemicals are hurting you more than they're helping you. Interesting. Maybe we're just overindulging in them. You know what I mean? We have a tendency to overindulge. We've been sold a bill of goods that everybody needs to be on a vegetarian diet, vegan diet, and we can't kill animals. That's weird, right? We're at the top of the food chain. We get to choose. And I'm not saying I don't help people with vegetarianism. I've been vegetarian. I've juiced before 100% for 38 days, 2 different times, 1.5 gallons of juice a day. I love different programs. I love detoxification programs. I love cleansing programs. And I use food as medicine all the day long. So don't accuse the brother over here of picking one side. I will go into a detox twice a year and do a detox program, clean out the liver, clean out the lymphatics, clean out the joints on a vegetable diet with mild input of protein. Why? Because I've discovered over the time of my years of being extreme in certain areas, I've learned that food is medicine, and I can leverage its principles, properties, and its phytonutrients and phytochemicals to maximize overall benefit. But I also know that I just read something today, and many people know, are grapes okay for your dogs? No, apparently there's phytochemicals and phytonutrients that will kill your dog. How is it okay for you to be consuming a grape and it poisonously toxic to your dog? So I got to thinking about it. What if it isn't the grape? What if it is the pesticide? What if it is the genetic material that is harmful to your little pet? That sounds more plausible to me. That's something that I want to pay attention to. What you eat's important, I promise you. But what you don't eat, is more important. What I say? More important. You got to get that. What you eat's important, but what you don't eat is more important. If your body hurts, you've got to start investigating. Pull out a piece of paper and start tracking what you eat. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in between. Track your bowel movements, track your sleep patterns, track the notes day in and day out. What's your blood pressure doing? What's it not doing? How you sleeping at night? These are all important conversations to have once we get into this stuff, right? So symptoms include joint pain, morning stiffness, that whole I can't take the first 25 steps without wishing I had a Tylenol. Swelling later in the day. I've seen people wake up in the morning, their ankles are skinny. They get into the end of the afternoon, you can't see their ankles. Cankles, they call them. That is not good. You get on an airplane, swelling. You eat salty foods, swelling. You pay attention to what are the triggers. It doesn't mean salt's bad, by the way. It just means you're eating the wrong salt. Remember, I told you in the past on my salt videos, if you eat the little girl with the umbrella on her shoulder, typically you're going to get yourself in an inflammatory state. If you eat real Hawaiian-based, Australian-based sea salt, 2,500 meters below the sea, you're going to get 100 plus trace elements and trace minerals along with the salt, and you're going to get cardiovascular benefits, cellular recharging all throughout the body. I love this. Warm, tender joints. Of course, if you sprain your ankle or your shoulder or your elbow and you go to touch it, you should actually feel a difference left side, right side in that same joint tissue of the one that was traumatized. The one that's developing a tendonitis or a joint arthritis. Arthritis is just a joint that is on fire. Arthro is joint and itis is inflammation. Reduced flexibility. Man, I just lost that tone. I lost that ability, dexterity to move my joints without pain. Now, I tweaked my shoulder a few weeks back at the gym doing too many crazy things. Thought I left 20% in the tank. Clearly I didn't. And it's been a trouble ever since. So thankfully, I've gotten real good at doing gym work in what they call angles. Angles allow me to work different aspects of the same tissue without working the irritated tissue. So I'm able to work around. So even if you are inflamed, it shouldn't stop you. But if you can't grip and hold on to a weight because the thumb is swollen too fat and too red and irritated, you've got to get to the bottom of that. And typically when you've developed into a state of rheumatoid arthritis, you have to do some deeper liver cleansing, lymphatic work to get the body to stop storing toxins in those 3 areas. Where's your body store those toxins? I mentioned them earlier. Do y'all remember? Put it in the chat below. It's the brain. It's the fat cells. It's the joints. Puts it in the brain. You walk into a room, can't remember why you're in the room. Brain fog. You have joint flexibility problems. You basically get storm in the joints and you have arthritis, or I like to call arthrongus because there's nothing rightus about it. Or fat cells. Now people can't lose weight because they're toxic, not because they're fat. Toxins are your body's enemy. Your body then has buffering systems to protect the lifeblood, to protect the brain, and to protect key tissues in order to maximize your longevity. But then you're only offered over the extra strength, whatever, whether it's a Tylenol, Advil, Aleve, any type of painkiller in that respect. Well, if all you're doing is turning off the check engine light to the dashboard on your car, and you never took it to the mechanic to get it fixed or evaluated properly, you'll never know what's causing or driving that inflammation. When I look at functional blood panels, I can see inflammation riding everywhere. Like, for example, high sensitive CRP, C-reactive protein. When it's elevated, most of the charts on the graphs in the lab say it's all heart issue. Not true. Not true. It's just systemic inflammation. You can have a perfectly healthy heart because your body's going to try to protect the lifeblood and protect the core ingredients, the core working system like the heart. But you may have inflammation in your joints and your high sensitive CRP level is over 1, right? I've got people that have come in well in the hundreds. Oh my gosh. Those people are walking time bombs. That person probably does have cardiovascular challenge on their horizon, right? But I've even gone and done a workout, beat up my legs real good, and then went and did blood work, and my high sensitive CRP was over 20. But then a week later, they were back under 1 because I was, learning how much a leg workout can impact my blood work. Just FYI. Just because you have a high CRP doesn't mean you're going down with the ship. There could be more conversation to be had, depending on what you do day in and day out for exercise. Difficulty with everyday movements. If you are having a hard time taking the trash to the curb, if you're having a hard time just getting out of bed, sitting on the toilet, if you're having a hard time getting off the couch after watching them flick with your family, these are indicators that your body is holding on to toxins. And when you get when you sit down and don't move, your body gets sluggish and it stores those toxins until you start moving and grooving. Did you know that your joints only get hydrated when you move and exercise? So inflammation is not always a bad thing, but lack of movement is the new smoking. You have to move and groove in order to push trash, toxins, waste, debris out of the body and recognize that inflammation is absolutely at its core helping navigate the body's responses to know how much have you done today in order to take the best care of your body. So for me, when I tweaked my shoulder, I felt like I had left 20% in the tank. But apparently, after about 72 hours, inflammation started setting in. And why? Because my body was telling me, dude, whatever you did, I'm not going to let you do that continually. I'm going to give you these check engine lights. That's a pro-inflammatory response. So then I would use things to push the pro-inflammatory button. I would use things like black currant seed oil, not black cumin. Many people know black cumin seed oil as the seed oil that cures everything but death, okay? However, I'm talking about black currant seed oil that's gamma-linolenic acid that stimulates inflammatory cascades to complete the cycle to heal the tissue. Isn't that how that works? Well, should work? Yes, that's how that should work. Yes, did I and do I still take proenzyme, that is proteolytic enzymes, when I first wake up and at bedtime when I'm in these states? Do I take topical essential oils and herbals to rub on my tissue to decrease inflammation and to speed up the process? Absolutely. See, that's moving blood in and out of the tissue, putting enzymes in to clean up the tissue, but then I'm driving the pro-inflammatory process to maximize healing quickly. This is how you get quick turnover and turnaround. Do I use cold laser therapy? Absolutely. Infrared therapy? Absolutely. See, guys, there's so many tools and resources today that you can tap into. But if you don't have anything and you got a bottle of Pro Enzyme, stuff was designed by the head team physician for the Kansas City Chiefs. If it's good enough for $1 million assets running around on a football field, chasing a pigskin and beating the snot out of one another, Coach Dr. Mladenoff said, "Time is money, boys. We got to get these boys back on the field quick, fast, in a hurry. These are assets. This is the team's gusto. This is their year, their season. Today's the day. We got 20 seconds in this timeout to fix them." He was always real fast-paced like that. Totally dig it. Proenzyme spared so many of his players' kidneys from all the anti-inflammatory drugs they were taking to fix their knee pain, joint pain, back pain from all the blows and the hits and the weight they were toting around day after day being a football player. Okay, so inflammation is not the enemy. Inflammation left unchecked and inflammation fed by problematic oils and problematic processed food and bad drink is what is driving you past the point of no return where dysfunction begins to set in. Supporting overall health through good nutrition and movement is everything. Like I said, the joints get good blood flow only if you move and groove. They only get hydrated if you move and groove. They actually do not get good blood flow if you don't. That's why sitting is the new smoking. Smoking restricts everything. Sitting restricts everything. You got to get up and wag that tail. You got to get up and move and groove. If the dude don't move, the dude don't groove. The dude don't move, the dude don't groove. Yes. Hope you get these things. Get this idea in your head. Go for a 20-minute walk twice a day. Make sure that you exercise for 30 minutes a day. Drink plenty of water. Hydrate well with the good salts, the good electrolytes, the good minerals that I put together in people's programs. Make sure that we're putting the fires out day in and day out as a global, because you're going to be, just like I am, exposed to things whether you like it or not. But if you take precaution, if you're proactive, you're going to be ahead of the game, way ahead of the game. Adequate sleep. If you're not able to fall asleep in 7 minutes, something's wrong. If you can't stay asleep without waking up to pee, something's wrong. If you wake up in the middle of the night hot as a pistol, tossing, turning, beating up your pillow, wishing you could go back to sleep, and you can't, something's wrong. You got to get on my books. You got to let us teach you how to live better, be better, stay better, one bite at a time, baby. Yeah, sounds like I'm saying, bada, so wing, bada. Adequate sleep promotes inflammation reduction. Okay? Movement, hydration promotes healthy function. But like I was telling some of my patients this past week, if you eat sugar and processed food and the 4 deadly food additives and the 4 most common foods that drive inflammation, you are going to be behind the 8 ball. If you're eating omega-rich foods, if you're eating colorful fruits and vegetables, if you're getting into some good quality, high-performance olive oil, if you're looking at healthy nuts and seeds, if you're getting into lean proteins and avoiding the 4 most common inflammatory foods, does anybody happen to know? Or do you know your own trigger foods? What is it? Put it in the comments below. Let us know. We want to know. Because here's what I know. If you are getting into milk, cheese, yogurt, sour cream, ice cream, whey protein, you're getting sicker by the day. Every day you walk past these things, your body actually does better. Daily, onward, upward, goodward, Godward. Absolute positive. I've seen it 21 years. People fight this premise. I had this one person literally come to my house. Well, I invited him over. Then one of the people kind of joined the party and literally for 30 minutes argued with me over whether or not they could eat dairy. And they just fought it. And I finally just said, look, can we talk about something else? Because I'm about to leave. I'm going to just change the space. I'm going to leave my own house. Because I got better things to do than to argue with somebody that thinks they know and they're the ones suffering, and I'm sitting here watching them eat foods that are driving their inflammatory process. I mean, don't ask me for help if you don't want to do the work. I'm telling you, confidently, I've seen it 21 years. I don't mean this ugly. Dairy is not your friend. It does not do a body good. Milk, cheese, yogurt, sour cream is not your friend. Oh, I know you raw people out there. Ooh, man, we go round and round. Oh, I know you whey people out there. I get it. I've been down your road. I have seen you. But here's the reality. Time and time again, the patients, the people that want to keep dairy products in their program, they suffer. They suffer. They never get fully better, ever. And it sucks. I get it. I would love to go eat pizza and beer too. However, it's not on the menu if you want to be healthy. It's just not on the menu. Sorry. What about gluten? Oh my goodness. Grains. So bread, rice, cereal, pasta, corn, not your friend. Clogs up your tissues, clogs up your arteries, clogs up everything, drives your triglycerides, drives your cholesterol. This is the kind of stuff that is the wrong fiber. It isn't the type of fiber you need to be consuming. The food pyramid, I know, I'm getting passionate now. I can feel it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish people could grab this. The food pyramid lied to you, lied to me, lied to my mom and dad. 6 to 11 servings of grains a day? Are you freaking kidding me? Can't do it, won't do it, shouldn't do it. It's the fastest way to diabetes, fastest way to metabolic syndrome, fastest way to inflammation city, headaches, migraines, constipation, onward into the disease state. Oh my gosh. You get rid of wheat products, gluten, dairy products, all of that stuff, and then you get off of sugar and alcohol, your life will be better. Absolutely, positively. It's right here on this slide. Just eat these types of foods and you're going to be a better, more productive, more vibrant, more excited human. And you're going to get more out of your day, more out of your month, more out of your year. Wow. I could stop right now. That's all I needed to say. It really is that simple. Movement is medicine. When appropriate, regular movement can help everything. Every tissue, cell, organ, gland in your body. You want maximal mobility, flexibility. You want to generate strength and power. You want to improve balance and coordination. You want to make sure that you're somebody that has the ability to get up and not fall down and wish you had that little button that I've fallen and I can't get up. Choose activities that your body's comfortable with at first and build from there. Simple +1. Easy +1. So we teach our homeschool kids. Easy +1. Don't make it complicated. This isn't physics. Doesn't need to be. This isn't biochemistry. This isn't rocket science. This is gentle, good movement. Making sure that your weight's in check. If you are carrying an extra 10 pounds of weight, it's an extra mile for your heart to have to do. What do you think that extra weight's doing to your joints? What's it doing to your hips? What's it doing to your back? What's it doing to your neck? What's it doing to every tissue in your body? It's getting more and more inflamed, and your body will not be able to handle the strain. So yes, you can wear out your joints. Yes, the osteoarthritis people. That's the general arthritis people because you're carrying excess weight. The average American is gaining between 8 and 12 pounds a year. And you add that up over 5 years, man, that's a big hit. You've got to fight that process. People go, well, I guess it's normal if that's what's happening. No, it's because people is not detoxing and they're eating these processed foods. And I'm not saying you need to be eating lettuce. I'm just saying you need to be eating no sugar, no alcohol, no gluten, no dairy, no corn, no soy, the most genetically engineered processed foods, and your body will begin to improve wildly, get better, wildly. It's amazing. I could have written the Whole30 book. You know what I mean? And I was so happy when they added potatoes back into the Whole30. I remember when I did it, there was no potatoes, no shakes. It was just my vitamins. And they didn't even want me to do that, but the diet. No grains, no dairy, no sugar, no alcohol. More people I have fixed with a Whole30 diet than I could shake a stick at. Better than the paleo, better than Mediterranean. I mean, it is essentially a paleo, I guess, diet. But then it's not so extreme that, these people that don't want to do keto or they don't want to do carnivore. But here's the deal. Every diet, like a supplement, is a tool for a season and time. So you have to get in the office and let us teach you which diets to use when and how to navigate from diet 1 to diet 2, stages of life, making sure that you're on your best behavior moving forward. Healthy weight matters for your joints, your heart, your tissues, your glands, your brain, everything. Daily habits matter. Man, I could talk about this for hours because the number one nutrient we all need day in and day out is air. Without it, you're doomed. But sleep is the second most important nutrient that most of you are not getting. You've got to get good deep sleep. Every hour you go to bed before midnight, you get double the growth hormone. That means more restoration, more healing, more repair, more recovery. That's exciting. Staying hydrated day in and day out. Making sure that you're getting adequate water, 32 ounces per 50 pounds of body weight. Mineral saturation rates. Get those minerals up. Managing stress. Regular physical exercise. By the way, did you know that every protocol I build has a stress component built into it? Because if I align your endocrine system with your neural system, with your physical action system, you'll naturally be able to walk past a donut or stimulation through sugar and carbs and alcohol and junk food more effectively. Every protocol I build, vitamin, mineral, essential fatty acids, endocrine. I work on the stress management system because it's going to navigate better quality sleep, cravings, etc. So regular physical activity regulates blood sugar, regulates body movement. We've already talked about it, flushing the joints. And then eating a healthy, clean diet. The simplest place to start is protein for breakfast, right? The simplest place to start is to try an intermittent fasting diet from 10 to 6, something easy. 12 to 6 if you can do it. 2 to 6 if you've got it in you. Experiment and play with and give your body time to eat well during those hours of cycle of the eating window, and then avoid the 4 deadly food additives, the 4 inflammatory foods, like your life depends on it on the other. And watch what happens. You're going to love the energy you get. You're going to love the mental clarity you get. You're going to love the vim, vigor, and vip you get. So, small habits over time, improved, literally starts moving the needle back into balance. Homeostasis, where your body gets more out of each and every day, and the people around you benefit from the best version of you, not the inflamed, irritated version of you. When to see a healthcare professional? If you've tried more than one thing and the only answer is a steroid shot, an over-the-counter drug, or they give you a psychological pill because they think you're crazy and want to shut you up, come and see me. If you are on more than 3 medications, come and see me. If you've had joint pain more than 3 weeks, come and see me. If you've got pain in your body and you can't trace it back to a workout, you can't trace it back to pulling weeds in the garden, raking your yard, doing something fell on you traumatically, sprain an ankle, twist an ankle, take a blow, come and see me. But even if you do have acute trauma, come and see me. So when should you come and see us? All the time, because no one likes to suffer. No one wants to be in pain. And you want to live your best, be your best, and people around you need you to be your best. So why suffer? Why stay in pain? If you have morning stiffness that's lasting more than an hour, 30 minutes, if you're not having a bowel movement more than twice a day, come and see us. If you wake up and you are not having a bowel movement too later in the day, come and see us. These are all reasons you should come and hang out in the Living Well Clinical Nutrition Wellness Warrior Program. If you have difficulty using a particular joint, you can't play pickleball anymore, you can't unscrew a lid off a jar, you can't make a fist super, super tight. Which, by the way, did you know if you can't make a fist super, super tight and grip those knuckles, you have a B6 deficiency? Did you know? Interesting. And if you, of course, have the red swollen rheumatoid joints, you absolutely need to be on a protocol. You absolutely got to get off those steroid shots. They're not serving a dang thing. They're just turning off the check engine light, and the mechanic is not doing you any services. He is taking you to the cleaners, and your joints are going to continue to be inflamed. Listen, any doctor that tells you that food doesn't matter, what you eat doesn't matter, walk away. 180-degree about face. Run to somebody that will tell you that food matters. What you eat's important. What you don't eat is more important. Stay in the game. Do our whole body reset program 3 times a year. You will regulate this toxic burden accumulation that people are developing year after year. And instead of being the statistical average that are gaining 8 to 12 pounds a year, you will be the statistical average that is losing inches, staying at your fighting weight, feeling great, staying for the walk, motivating others, dialed in, creative in process. This is exciting. This is wellness. This is good health. This is vitality, vim, vigor, and vip. Learn about our whole body wellness program. We teach people how to move better, sleep better, and get and achieve real overall cellular wellness that lasts. Yes, you do have to repeat the process year after year. This is maintenance. I just changed my air filters. Beginning of the month, that's what you do, right? So you have to rotate the tires. It's a regular thing that you budget into your life. You've got to do these maintenance checks. Everything in life, I don't care what it is, needs maintenance. Find me one thing that doesn't need maintenance at some level. If you use it, it's going to be maintenance at some level. So does your body. And if you aren't using a particular joint or tissue, if you don't use it, what happens? If somebody put it in the comments below. That's right, you lose it. You don't use it, you lose it. So when we do a detox regularly, when we flush the lymphatics, when we detox the kidneys, when we open up the channels of circulation better. You know, one of my patients goes, I need a double bear garlic to be healthy. Well, I got it. I need some nattokinase. I've got it. My doctor's going to tell me which vitamins that I'm deficient in. On what blood work? Yeah, right. I mean, they won't even give you tell you that your salt's low at 138 because it's inside their what do you call it ranges. Their laboratory sick care ranges. Don't listen to the docs on functional wellness programs. When we look at blood work, we are looking at functional wellness patterns, not sick care patterns. I'm not waiting for an oak tree of disease to manifest in your life. I'm looking for an opportunity to interrupt the cycle now so that you live better, be better, pluck that weed out, and get that body functioning and firing like it's supposed to. So, we teach strategies in our wellness, whole body reset that you can step into week after week, year after year, month after month, and maximize your overall wellness curve. So, guys, at Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center, we have a wellness journey set out for you. Detox, functional wellness, gut health, new hormonal support, nutritional support, sustainable, healthy habits. Spiritually, emotionally, physically, biochemically, every which way to Sunday. Join our master's class. Let us teach you how to live your best, be your best day in and a day out. And I'm telling you, you will not be dissatisfied. As a matter of fact, you'll be thrilled because you're going to take the charge. You're going to take your health into your own hands, and you're going to see your body begin to perform like God designed it. Fully functional in spirit, mind, and body all the days of your life. Amen? I pray that you get excited about your health as I get excited about your health, because I know that if I can live my best, doesn't mean I have perfect days every day. It just means that when my body is performing, it's outperforming. When my body's not at its best, I've got tools and resources to reorient me back on point. I can easily help you make the crooked path straight and the rough path smooth. You just got to follow through with the recommendations to the best of your ability, stay in the game long enough, and you will see your health thrive. My name is Dr. Chapa, Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. This is the Dr. Chapa Wellness Show, and I'm excited that you're tuned in and you're connected. Be a part of the game that we're playing in this health and wellness journey. Share our message with your friends, family, loved ones. Get this message out. It will change rapidly those around. Everybody deserves to be healthy. You first. Start, doctor. Heal thyself. Heal yourself and then allow others to follow suit. Guys, God bless you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May He shine His face wonderfully upon you all the days of your life. And I am thankful to be a part of your wellness journey. May the Lord bless us always and forever. See you next week.